Kripa kori koro tare Vrindavan Navasi Kripa kori koro tare Vrindavan Navasi Morai Avilas Vilas kunde Jehovas Morai Avilas Vilas kunde Jehovas Nayane Ribosada Yugala Ruparasi Nayane Ribosada Yugala Ruparati Nivedana Dara Sakira Nugata Paro Nivedana Dara Sakira Nugata Paro Sevari Kara Dihe Karo Nijadasi Sevarika Karo Nijadasi Dina Krishna Dasi Ko E Jena Morai Shri Radha Govinda Premi Sadha Jena Basi Namo Namo Tulasi Krishna Preyasi Namo Namaha Tulasi Krishna Preyasi Namo Namaha
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vrindai Tulsi Devai Priyai Kesavasacha Vishnu Bhakti Pradidevi Satyavachai Namo Namaha. Vrindai Tulsi Devai Priyai Kesavasacha Vishnu Bhakti Pradidevi Satyavachai Namo Namaha. Vrindai Tulsi Devai Priyai Kesavasacha Vishnu Bhakti Pradidevi Satyavachai Namo Namaha. Srimati Tulsi Maharani Ki. Nrsimhadev Bhagavan ki. Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Ite Namine Namah Nupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Ite Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paskachari Setadine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paskacha Desetarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Haribo Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Haribo. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna. Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Gauranga. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Gauranga. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Nitai Gaur Sundar. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Gaur Haribo. Nitai Gauranga, Jai Sachinandana Gaura Hari. Jai Sachinandana Gaura Hari. Gaura 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 Hari. Gaura 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 Hari. Jai Sachinandana Gaura Hari. Jai Sachinandana Gaura Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Haribo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Ram, Hare Hare. Gaur Haribo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Haribo. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Haribo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Go Haribo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Go Haribo. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo. Rebo. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vivo! Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vivo! Vivo! Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Bo. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare. Oh. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Goda Haribo, 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 Nitai Goda Haribo. Nitai Goda Haribo, 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 Nitai Goda Haribo. Jayom Vishnupad Paramahamsa Paribrajacharya Ashtotarasita Shishimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Nitya Leela Pravishtom Vishnupad Paramahamsa Paribrajacharya Ashtotarasita Shishimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Anantikoti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Namacharya Haridas Thakur Ki प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद से द्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौ भक्तवृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गो गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की वृंदावन धाम की नवदीप धाम की मायापुर धाम की जगन्नाथ पुरी धाम की जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की श्री श्री निताय गौर सुंदर की श्री श्री लक्ष्मी नृसिंह भगवान की श्री श्री रामलाल की भक्ति देवी तुलसी देवी की Jamuna Mai Ganga Mai ki, Samveda Bhaktivinoda ki, Harinam Sankirtan ki, Sankirtan Jagna ki, Transcendental Book Distribution ki, Go Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Guru Shigaranga.
जय नरसिम्हा श्री नरसिम्हा जय जय नरसिम्हा प्रहलादेश जय पद्म मुख पद्म भृंगा जय पद्म मुख पद्म भृंग जय नरसिम्हा श्री नरसिम्हा जय जय नरसिम्हा नरसिम्हा श्री नरसिम्हा जय जय नरसिम्हा प्रहलादेश जय पद्म मुख पद्म भृंग जय जय नरसिम्हा सिंहा श्री नरसिम्हा जय जय नरसिम्हा प्रहलादेश जय पद्म मुख पद्म भृंग उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखम् नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्मृत्युं नमाम्यहं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्मृत्युं नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखम् वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखम् नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्मृत्युं नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखम् नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्मृत्युं नमाम्यहं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् नमस्ते नरसिंहाय नमस्ते नरसिंहाय नमस्ते नरसिंहाय नमस्ते नरसिंहाय प्रहलाद लाददायिने प्रहलाद लाददायिने प्रहलाद लाददायिने प्रहलाद लाददायिने हिरण्यकाशीपूर्वक्षः हिरण्यकाशीपूर्वक्षः हिरण्यकाशी पूर्वक्षः हिरण्यकाशी पूर्वक्षः शीलटङ्कानकालाये 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 इतो नरसिंह परतो नरसिंह इतो नरसिंह परतो नरसिंह इतो नरसिंह परतो नरसिंह इतो नरसिंह परतो नरसिंह यतो यतो यामिततो नरसिंह यतो यतो यामिततो नरसिंह यतो यतो यामिततो नरसिंह यतो यतो यामिततो नरसिंह बाहिर नरसिंह हृदये नरसिंह बाहिर नरसिंह हृदये नरसिंह बाहिर नरसिंह हृदये नरसिंह बाहिर नरसिंह हृदये नरसिंह नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपद्ये नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपद्ये नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपद्ये नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपद्ये तव करकमलवरेणकाम् अद्भुत शृंगा दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृंगा केशवधृता नरहरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे तव करकमलवरेणका अद्भुत लिंगा दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृंगा केशवधृता नरहरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय केशवधृता नरहरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय केशवधृता नरहरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय नरसिंहदेव 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 जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंह जय लक्ष्मी 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 देवी 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 जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल श्री 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 विघ्न विनाशक लक्ष्मी देव नरसिंह भगवान की जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह स्वामी की जय लक्ष्मी देवी की जय प्रहलाद महाराज की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय श्रील गुरुदेव की जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल।
Haribol. You by yourself? Haribol. Oh, prima donna. She carried with the straps, kind of funny. Hare Krishna. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yasoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana Yasoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana Jamuna Tira Bonachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Paribrajakachaja Astottara Satashishimat Divine Grace Shri Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Paribrajakachaja Astottara Satashishimat Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Haridas Thakur Ki Jai प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री द्वैत गदाधर शिवासरी गो भक्तवृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गो गोपीनाथ श्याम मुकुंद राधा कुंद गिरि गोवर्धन की वृंदावन धाम की नवदीप धाम की मायापुर धाम की जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की श्री श्री निताय गौर सुंदर की श्री श्री लक्ष्मी नृसिंह भगवान की श्री श्री राम लला की गो प्रेमानंदी. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories Shri Guru, Shri Gauranga. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Whenever someone says Hare Krishna, you have to say Hare Krishna. But why? Why should you do that? That's it? That's it? There. So take advantage of every opportunity to clean, as I said, clean your soul. So we're continuing with the Srimad Bhagavatam. In fact, today we're going to finish the little segment that I've been working on. And I highly recommend that you write down the numbers of these verses that we're going to study. We won't get a chance to go in depth on each one, but starting with text 16, first canto, second chapter, we're starting with text 16, and we'll try to finish, well, not necessarily finish, but go up to verse 19 for your further study. But later verses are important, but these few verses are like a little, like a tool chest. When you go to these verses, you can solve a lot of your problems. That's why I recommend 16 to 19. So we're gonna say this one, first one, and then as normal, you can repeat. Shushu Shoshadadanasya. Shushu Shoshadadanasya. Vasudeva Kataruchi. Vasudeva Kataruchi. Syan Mahat Sevaya Vipra. Syan Mahat Sevaya Vipra. Punya Tirthan Sevanat. Punya Tirthani Sevanat. Haribo. Shushusho Sadadanasya. Vasudeva Kataruchi. Syan Mahat Sevaya Vipra. Punya Tirthan Sevanat. Next. Sushusho Sadadanasya. Vasudeva Kataruchi. Punya Tirtha Sevana. Nimai. Shushu Sadadhanasya. Vasudeva Kataruchi. Sanmaha Sevaya Vipra. Punya Tirtha Nisevana. Shushushro Sadadhanasya. Vasudeva Kataruchi. Syanmahat Sevaya Vipra. Punya Tirtha Nisevana. Shushushro Sadadhanasya. Vasudeva Kataruchi. Sama Sevaya Vipra. Punya Tirtha Sevana. Ladies. Shushu Sadadhanasya. Vasudeva Kataruchi. San Mahasevaya Vipra. Punya Tirtha Nisevaya. Shushu Sadadhanasya. Vasudeva Kataruchi. San Mahasevaya Vipra. Punya Tirtha Nisevana. Akshu. Shushu Sadadhanasya. Vasudeva Kataruchi. Sanma Sevaya Vipra. Punya Tirtha Nisevaya. Anyone else? Shushu Sadadhanasya. Vasudeva Kataruchi. Sanmahat Sevaya Vipra Punyatirtani Sevaya. So all together. Shushu Sho Sadada. Word for word translation. Shu Shru Sho. One who is engaged in hearing. Shraddhanasya. With care and attention. Vasudeva. In respect to Vasudeva. Kata. The message. Ruchi. Affinity. Shat. Is made possible. Mahat Sevaya. By service rendered to the pure devotees. Vipra. O twice born. Punya Tirtha. Those who are cleansed of all vice. Nisheva not. By service. Translation, purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. O twice-born sages, by serving those devotees who are completely free from all vice, great service is done. By such service, one gains affinity for hearing the messages of Vasudeva. Please repeat after me. O twice-born sages, by serving those devotees who are completely freed from all vice, great service is done. By such service, one gains affinity for hearing the messages of Vasudeva. So I'm going to read part of this purport because we want to read some of the other ones as well. The conditioned life of a living being is caused by his revolting against the Lord. There are men called Deva, or godly, living beings. And there are men called Asuras, or demons, who are against the authority of the Supreme Lord. In the Bhagavad Gita 16th chapter, a vivid description of the Asuras is given, in which it is said that the Asuras are put into lower and lower states of ignorance, life after life, and so sink to the lower animal forms, and have no information of the absolute truth, the personality of Godhead. These Asuras are gradually rectified to God consciousness by the mercy of the Lord's liberated servitors in different countries according to the supreme will. Such devotees of God are very confidential associates of the Lord, and when they come to save human society from the dangers of godlessness, they are known as the powerful incarnations of the Lord, as sons of the Lord, as servants of the Lord, or as associates of the Lord. But none of them falsely claim to be God themselves. This is a blasphemy declared by the Asuras. And the demoniac followers of such Asuras also accept pretenders as God or his incarnation. In the revealed scriptures, there is definite information of the incarnation of God. No one should be accepted as God or an incarnation of God unless he is confirmed by the revealed scriptures. We'll finish this one. The servants of God are to be respected as God by the devotees who actually want to go back to Godhead. Now, on that point, Srila Prabhupada, when he gave the first initiations in America, because you know he gave one initiation in India. I think I heard there was maybe one other one, but there was one in Jhansi. Anyone here been to Jhansi? I've never been there. You've been to Jhansi? So Prabhupada started his first project in Jhansi and made his first disciple in Jhansi. But he started promoting and advertising for students. He didn't promote for disciples. He was advertising for students because Jhansi has a nice university or something there. So he made one disciple. So when he got to America, he didn't have any disciples in America when he started. He started in, started preaching in, what is that place? Butler, Pennsylvania. It's the first place he preached. At the YMCA and at the home of Sally Argowal. And then he went from there to Pennsylvania. I believe Penn State, somewhere he gave a nice talk, and then he went on to New York. But when he got to New York, he still didn't have any disciples. So no one understood pure devotee, someone free from vice, guru. They knew something about, they meaning the young people in New York, knew something about guru. They heard that word before. And some of them had been to India when Prabhupada met them. But they had no idea what a pure devotee was. They had never understood that. Even coming from a Christian background, we had no understanding of that phrase, pure devotee. In fact, the idea of devotee was kind of lost in a philosophical malaise of just all kinds of ideas. So Prabhupada had no disciples, and then he started preaching. You know the story. He went first to Dr. Mishra's ashram to stay with him. And then Dr. Mishra was a little bit nervous about Prabhupada preaching about bhakti yoga. Because Dr. Mishra was a yoga teacher. Not, he didn't look like it because he didn't dress in the dhoti, kurta. He dressed in like a suit and all those kinds of things. So in Prabhupada, when he would do his kirtan, he would talk about Krishna, so Dr. Mishra didn't like that. He liked Prabhupada. He liked Prabhupada's cooking, but he didn't like Prabhupada. And he also liked the chanting, but he didn't like Prabhupada preaching. And Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, was determined to give the message of Lord Chaitanya because his Guru Maharaj told him to do that only. He didn't say go to the West and give Hinduism, give some modified version directly, because Lord Chaitanya demands that. He says that wherever you are, whoever you meet, preach Krishna consciousness, glorify Krishna. Yare deke tare kara Krishna upadesh. Krishna upadesh means the message of Krishna. Give that only. So Prabhupada started and no one wanted to hear. Then Dr. Mishra moved him into upper floor, I think 5th floor in his place. He had some apartment. I used to always think it said that there were no windows in Prabhupada's room. For all these years, I'm thinking there was no glass in the window. So in the wintertime, Prabhupada was there in the wintertime. So I was always thinking, Prabhupada sitting in that room, no windows. That means the wind's coming in. No. I was just listening the other day. If there were no windows in the room, just like if there were no windows in this room, it would be a little bit dark. Yes? So we have windows. Prabhupada had no windows in his room. I thought that is so interesting. He accepted whatever was given to him. Still he had no disciples. Then he left that place, and the young people that were coming, they said, Swamiji, we think it's better if you come down to the lower side, east side. And in the east side, there was a confluence of homeless people or unhoused people, African Americans, Latinos, and some other, Ukrainians. So Prabhupada went there, and there was one friend that allowed Prabhupada to stay in his, they called them the lofts in New York. Big, big area. So Prabhupada started preaching there. Still no disciples. Even the guy he was living with, not a disciple. So that man was still taking drugs, LSD specifically. And that's a mind-altering drug. Don't ask me to elaborate, okay? It really does something. So, and there's another story attached to that, but we won't have time. So anyway, that man was taking drugs one day, and he became crazy and running around the room making noises. And Prabhupada was like, he's from India, he's from Vrindavan. What is this nonsense? So he was, devotees are not afraid, but he was concerned. So that man chased him out of the room. Prabhupada went down, went onto the street. He didn't know where to go. He had no other place. He was unhoused, homeless. Wow. Of course, the devotees found him. He had been preaching, but no disciples. So finally, when they got that 26 Second Avenue, has anyone here been to 26 Second Avenue in New York? The original temple? Yes. You're very fortunate. I'm going to go there in, when am I going? August. I'll go visit there. So that place he got, now Prabhupada got that place, but he had no guarantee of money to pay the rent. He got the rent down to $270, something like that, because they had a little apartment. The Prabhupada didn't know. He had no money to pay the rent. He was selling his books. Very important. He was selling his books at different bookshops. Still he had no disciples. Follow the story. I'll tell you why I brought it up in a minute. So, one day, I believe it was Keith, who later became Kirtanananda. You may have heard his name. Actually the first disciple. So he said, Prabhupada, can you be my guru? Prabhupada said, yes. So they made an arrangement for initiation. And all the young people that were coming to see Prabhupada, some of them were coming down from their drug-induced hallucinations, some of them were just coming here and there. It mentions that there were a lot of musicians. And after playing in the nightclub, they would come to Mangalarti with Prabhupada. I know that part because I was a musician and I used to go to the temple and it was like, you were up pretty late at night. So anyway, still no disciples. So they heard Swamiji's going to do an initiation. And they started saying, what's that? They didn't know what initiation was. What is that? And someone said, oh, that means Swamiji's going to be teaching us. Well, he's already teaching us, but this is a little different, okay. So different people agreed to get initiated. Some of them said, I don't know what it is, but it's pretty cool. Swamiji's doing it. Let's just do it. Okay. Even Mukunda, who's now Mukunda Maharaj, because he was a jazz musician. So someone said, hey, Swamiji's doing initiation. You want to get initiated? I don't know. What is that? Whatever. I like Swamiji. Okay, fine. I'll get initiated. That's how it was. No tests, no papers, no Bhakti Shastri. Swamiji's doing initiation. Okay, let's go do it. I think there were 10 or 11, maybe 12. So here's the point. Prabhupada came down to, they had a little room, which it wasn't like a temple room, it was just this room that Prabhupada would sing and chant in. People would come. So Prabhupada came down as he normally did, and he said about the initiation, what it means, because they asked him, what does it mean, Swamiji? He said, it means that you accept the Guru as good as God. Then he got up and walked out. And these people were like, what did he just say? For weeks, Swamiji has been telling us, if someone says that, you kick on his face. What is Swamiji? What did he do? And in the hippie terminology, he dropped a bomb on us. In the hippie terminology, that means some big, heavy thing, not like a physical thing, but just, he dropped a bomb. So they didn't know what to do. And none of them had any understanding of that, what Prabhupada said. The only person that had any inkling was Keith, who was not initiated, who later became Kirtananda. But he was in the hospital. So the devotees said, we should go talk to Keith. So they went and talked to him, and he explained to them that, yes, the spiritual master, he's serving God, and because he's serving God, we should respect him in that way. So they got a little understanding, but still he had no disciples. So it says, the servants of God are to be respected as God. That's the sentence we were reading. That's a beautiful example of that. When I got initiated in 1974, we had to answer 3 questions with essays. And one of the questions was, why do you accept Prabhupada as good as God? Because Prabhupada didn't want any flimsy, wickety-doo disciples. He wanted some really solid disciples. He said something like this, that I don't want a lot of stars, like in the sky you have lots of stars. I want one moon. Because all the stars in the sky don't light up the night. It's the moon. If I can get one moon disciple, he was satisfied. So the spiritual master has to be respected as good as God. Now, here's a word that we're going to think about today. You ready for the word? Yes or no? No means no prashad, right? V-I-C-E. What does that spell? Do you know what it means? It's a big word because it's in this verse. And it's key to everything else that comes up in the other verses. Oh, twice born sages, by serving those devotees who are completely freed from all vice. So I just saved you the trouble. I looked it up this morning. A vice is generally defined as an immoral, wicked, or evil habit. It refers to a serious moral failing, a negative character trait, or a habitual and often unhealthy indulgence. So that can spread out to many aspects. The preliminary understanding for us are the 4 rules and regulations. What are they? 4 rules? Yeah, what are they? So that's the preliminary. That's not the end of the story. Some of us, we think, well, I follow the four regular principles. That's not enough. That just makes you a human being, that's all. Because if you look at those four principles, there's nothing spiritual in those four principles. Name something spiritual about any one of those four principles. It's just decent human life. Prabhupada made us human by giving us the four regulative principles. Actually, Bhagavad Gita says, by practicing the regulative principles of freedom, the regulative principles make you free. Free from what? The constant pushing of the material body. You know, growing up in America, of course, I ate meat growing up as a young kid and all that. And it was a constant pushing. In fact, when I was really young, my mother would say, if you don't, if you don't eat your meat, you're not going to get dessert. Because instinctively, I didn't want to eat it. It's just, what is that, you know? Well, if you don't eat it, you won't get dessert. Okay. This is how we grew up. Illicit sex, gambling. Now, I never had a problem with gambling because I had no money to gamble. That was not my problem. But my friends, like in the Mahabharata, what's the gambling they did? The Shakuni. What kind of gambling was that? What were they throwing? Dice. In my neighborhood, that was a big thing. So when I read about it in Mahabharata, I went, that's what they used to do in my neighborhood, throw dice. They threw it like that. But I never really cared so much for that. So what's the other one? Illicit sex, crazy material world, we know what that is. That was a problem. The intoxication was all around. My father was an alcoholic. Not proud to say, but he was. But on top of that, he was a very, very genuinely serious father to take care of his family, in spite of his problem. So I respect him for that. So this intoxication in America is, it starts out as a casual thing. They call it, at the end of your day, they call it, what do they call it, some hour? Happy hour. Miserable, anyway, happy hour. And you just take a casual drink, and then another casual drink, and before you know it, you're an alcoholic. You can't get past it. But you can overcome it. A friend of mine who sang with me in the group that I sang in right before, when I joined the temple, he was an alcoholic. Really serious alcoholic. Wonderful guy. But then, when I joined the temple, a few years later, he became a minister. And to this day, he has a church that he just retired from after 30 years. So spiritual life, and we talk about this a lot, how God saved us for a particular purpose, saved him to do a Christian purpose, saved me to do a service to Srila Prabhupada. Krishna did that. So there's four regulative principles. Again, it's just the beginning. The concept of vice expands more than that. This definition helps. An immoral, Haribol Ram, I have my buddy right here. An immoral, wicked, or evil habit. Okay? That can happen anywhere. It happens in religious institutions. Immoral activities happen. Years ago, the first African-American mayor of Atlanta, does anyone know his name? You know the name of the Atlanta airport? What's the name of the Atlanta airport? Do you know who Jackson is? Maynard Jackson. Maynard Jackson. Very kind man. Very sweet. He loved Balavanta. You know why? Because Balavanta brought him cookies. And he was very big. And he said, don't give them to him. My wife doesn't want me to eat cookies. But anyway, give me some. Very nice man. So he started one institution in Atlanta as a mayor. It's called RMAC. Atlanta Religious Mobilization Against Crime. And I was invited to join there, which I did. I joined it. So I remember one day we had a big luncheon with the mayor, and Maynard Jackson came in from having done a TV interview, and he looked around, and he saw me sitting there, and he looked around. He said, I know my movement is successful. The Hare Krishnas have joined. I said, wow. So he explained to us that day, the highest rate of alcoholism is in the Christian church. And I was like, what? We were shocked. Because what do you call priests and all these people, they smoke, they drink, they a little wine, whatever. He stated some data. Highest rate of alcoholism. Wow. So don't think that just because we're devotees, we are exempt from falling into those traps. They are traps. Bhagavad Gita can help you. I gave you a verse a long time ago, Bhagavad Gita chapter 2, text 70. You want to pull it up? It's a very important verse. Because what I'm trying to share with you are things that have helped me and devotees like Ram Raghava Prabhu for 50-something years we've been chanting and engaging, things that help us stay focused in Krishna consciousness. You need to have those things. And I'll give you the other verses in the Bhagavatam, but this one from Bhagavad Gita is extremely important. Did you get it? Read the English. Nimai, you want to read it? Can you see it? Who can explain that? Just in a brief 2 minutes. Just give your understanding of that. I'll give you a key for explaining things. Chaitanya Charitamrita says, essential truth spoken concisely is true eloquence. So don't make a big long 10-minute, just really tight. Who can say what that means to you? Because I'm telling you, it hits you in different ways at different stages of your Krishna consciousness because you're making progress and you'll understand it differently as you go forward. So who can say? You know what? It's really hard to hear. Do you have a second mic? 1 second, Mother. Divya. And I've said it many times, it doesn't matter how much I know. What matters to me is how much I can help you understand. Okay? I know what I know. Whatever I know has kept me here for many years. So now it's important to me what you all understand. Got it? You can just use this one. Unless it's working. The material world, Kali Yuga. That's okay. Just use this one.
Hare Krishna. Does it mean that it's not possible to be desireless, but for a person, although there are desires that come, but you're not affected, as in you don't act on it, and you just let it pass without acting on it? The example is just like how rivers go into ocean and still doesn't get disturbed. So
whenever I get disturbed, that's exactly the verse I think of. About 100 times a day. Seriously. Because your mind gets distracted by all kinds of things. You see one TikTok advertisement. You say, oh, maybe I need that. You see something on, I don't know, CNN or whatever. So, and then the other part of that is that the person who tries to satisfy those incessant desires, they can never be peaceful. The one who doesn't strive to, the desires will be there. They're not going anywhere. They will be with us pretty much the whole life. But we have to learn this principle, just like rivers flowing into the ocean. And the ocean is all, and Prabhupada explains in the purport to that verse, the ocean is already full, but like in India, monsoon or big heavy rain, more water's coming, but the ocean's peaceful. So for a devotee, Maya's coming. She's going to chase us around. But it's okay, fine. I'm going to be like the ocean. That's the visualization. I'm going to be like the ocean. So let's take that a step further. What is that ocean? It was nicely explained by this devotee from Mayapur when I took a training course with him. Very nice young devotee. He told us we should be so filled up with Prabhupada's books, studying and reading, that if Maya comes, he just dissipates. So filled up in Krishna consciousness, like an ocean. Like an ocean. So this vice, as I said, is not just the four regulative principles. Immoral activities, wicked activities. Are devotees subjected to these things? Yes, it happens. So we have to protect ourselves. So I'm giving you verses that can help protect you from the incessant flow of Maya. I promise you, it really works. So the one that we're reading now is text 16. Again, the translation. O twice-born sages, by serving those devotees who are completely free from all vice, great service is done. By such service, one gains affinity. What is affinity? We talked about this a few weeks ago. What is affinity? Huh? Attraction. Like I have an affinity for this hot tea. It helps in my throat. Or I have affinity for cheesecake. But it's a simple attachment. So you have an affinity for your children, for your home, for your family, for your relatives. You have an affinity, an attraction. It's not bad necessarily, unless that attraction takes you away from Krishna, then that's where the problem comes in. So one who is completely freed from all vice, great service is done if you do service to them. And we want to avoid these immoral, wicked, and evil habits of this material world. We want to be free from that. And that comes by engaging in devotional service. So now, moving to this next verse, because the next two verses, especially in 19. So please pay attention to this verse, 17. Srimvata Swakata Krishna, Punya Sravana Kirtana, Hridyanta Sto Yabadrani, Vidu Noti Surit Satam. Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is a Paramatma, super soul, in everyone's heart, and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. So now connect the last verse, 16, to this verse. By serving those devotees who are free from all vice, great service is done. You gain affinity for hearing the message. Next verse is saying, Krishna in your heart, when he sees that you have developed the urge to hear his messages, he cleanses your heart. Hridyantasto yabhadrani vidunoti surisita. So by virtue of your hearing with attention, with affection, Krishna will help. People always say, God will help those who help themselves, right? So what does that mean? How do we help ourselves? We're trying to follow Srila Prabhupada. Yes? 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 Only 10 people said yes. The rest of you, I don't know what you're doing. We're trying to follow Prabhupada. However many years. I mean, for me, 50-something, Ram Raghava, 50-something, you know, you might have been 10, 15, whatever. We're still every day trying our best. We don't always succeed, but we figured out something. Srinvata Swakata Krishna, Punya Shravana Kirtana. Punya Shravana, auspicious, beneficial hearing. We know that works. We, meaning those who have been struggling in Krishna consciousness, pushing forward for many years, we know hearing works. Why? It's the first principle of devotional service. What's the first principle? Shravanam. Second principle? Third principle? Smarana. So hearing, chanting, then remembering. So if you hear sufficiently, then you glorify Krishna sufficiently, guess what? You remember. Krishna will be in your mind. He'll be in your heart all the time. And he's there. He's the one that cleanses our heart. We can't do it. Please understand. You don't have the power to do it, to cleanse your own heart. First of all, what does that mean? Cheto darpanam marjanam bhavamaha da vagni navapana. What does that mean? Cleansing the heart, like you take your heart out and wash it with some soap? Or like Prabhupada, they used to criticize devotees saying, devotees are brainwashed. Prabhupada said, yes, they wash their brain of all the cow dung, all the nonsense in the brain. So cleansing the heart, it means what? Yeah. Anyone else? Cleansing the heart means what? Huh? So there's some things inside your heart like, yes, it's like, is it something solid? Is it like, I don't know, what is it? What's in the heart? What's in the region of the heart that correlates to this idea of cleansing the heart? Because you're not talking about cleaning the muscle of the heart. Ram Raghu is a doctor, right? So we're not talking about cleansing the muscles of the heart. What is that? That's a different thing. That's a physical. Now we're talking about material desires, sex desire, all that. Yes? And where does that reside? Let's get to the point. In the mind. Because you have a gross body and a subtle body. Mind, intelligence, and ego, that's your subtle body. So this lust, anger, greed, avarice, illusion, it's all in your mind. I mean, people say like, it's just in your mind. To a certain degree, yes. Because the mind, the subtle body, it's all in the region of the heart. It doesn't say it's like inside the muscle, stuck in the blood, and it float. Actually, consciousness, Srila Prabhupada says, because the soul is in that area, the consciousness puts the energy into the blood, and the blood goes throughout the body by the presence of the soul. So consciousness is a symptom of the soul. As long as you're conscious, that means the soul is there. And when the soul decides to leave, dehi nos yata dehe kalmanam yovanam jara tatati handara prapti. Dear to take another one. So all these desires are residing in that area, in your consciousness, in your mind, and you're supposed to develop good intelligence so you can do what? Discriminate what's good for me, what's bad for me. After many years, I can discriminate. That particular thing I used to do years ago is bad for me. Or it might be something I'm still doing. Who knows what that might be? Maybe I'm attached to, I told you the story that when I joined the temple, I was looking at Prabhupada's arm to see if he had a watch. Because in my growing up, I always checked. If a man didn't have a watch, I didn't trust him. So when I saw Prabhupada had a watch, I said, okay, he's good. So like, you have to be able to discriminate. And discrimination comes power of the intelligence. How does it go? The senses are higher than the body, and the mind is higher than the senses, and intelligence is higher than the mind, and higher than that is the spirit soul. So that intelligence, this is so interesting, intelligence. How do we develop good intelligence in Krishna consciousness to be able to discriminate? How do we do it? First principle of Bhakti Yoga, Shravanam, hearing. Because it's saying right here, one who's developed the urge to hear the messages of the Lord, he cleanses your heart. Anyone besides me want to cleanse your heart? I'm the only one in the room that want to cleanse your heart. The rest of you, whatever. We all should want to cleanse our heart. But you say, my heart is fine. I have no problem. I like Tesla. What's wrong with that? I just like a big house. What's wrong with that? There's nothing necessarily wrong as long as you realize it's not yours. It belongs to Krishna. And here's another little philosophical brain twister. Okay, take your hand like this. Hold it out, left or right, doesn't matter. And slap it. Did you feel that? Suppose that hand is gone. There's no more feeling. It's gone. So wait a minute. I put food in my mouth, I chew it, I taste it. Who's enjoying? Is it me? Or is it there's something going on with the tongue and the esophagus and the whatever? What is it? I thought about that many times. It's like a real brain twister because I think I'm enjoying. Like this morning I ate a little something before I came. And I was thinking, I'm going to eat this little potato thing and this other little thing. I had to go wash my mouth. And the taste is gone. What is this tasting? One devotee in Sweden, we were in Sweden one year, and this sannyasi devotee was giving a nice discussion. He said, using the analogy of drinking juice. I mean, most of us drink some kind of juice, or don't drink chai, but, tea, some kind of tea, So he's drinking the juice. He said, when you drink something nice and sweet, he said, and it's already gone. You say you're enjoying? Gone. So we try to enjoy in this material world, but it's like, So our attachments, whatever they might be, it doesn't matter. We all have different attachments, okay? Might as well admit it. We have different attachments. Some of us are attached to where we're born. Anyone in this room born in India? Don't be shy. Anyone in this room born in Atlanta? Yes, we're born here. So I'm attached up to a point of my hometown where I grew up, my old friends, the school, Then I catch myself. Okay, Bhagavad Gita, slow down. Don't get trapped into that. It's okay to respect that, but don't become completely attached to it. So don't be attached to being born in India. Don't be attached to being born in America. Don't be attached to being a black man, white man, female, Gujarati, Bengali, the list goes on. Russian, blah, 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 blah. South African. But people are, including, to a certain degree, devotees. Devotees sometimes defend where they came from, as if that place is better than the other place. It's a material world. Dukkhalayam ashasvatam. Born in India, still, suffering is there. Prabhupada told a story this morning. It was so funny. He said he saw this. One man, he had a tela. Tela means like a wagon or something. They pull it like a cart. So he had the tela wala. He's pulling this cart. And he said, on the cart, all the stuff he was pulling, he said the baby was sitting on the top. And the wife is with him. They're all coming with the cart. And Prabhupada said he's enjoying. He has his little tela. He has his baby. He has his wife. Still, he thinks he's enjoying, but he's living in a lower, so-called lower class life. So it doesn't matter. High class, low class, you're in the material world. Another example is a prison house. There are some high class prisoners. They work in the library. They have special privileges because they've been really good. So in the material world, there are some privileges. You can become a demigod. You can become a king. But you're still in prison. How can you say that with any authority? Or how can I say that? Or how can Prabhupada say that? Using the example of the prison house. You know how? Because in the prison, you're not free to leave whenever you want. In the material world, you can't just get up and leave. You can't do it. You can't. So we're in a prison. I love that example. Not that I was in prison. I've been in jail many times for selling books for Prabhupada, but that's different. I don't mind going to jail for Prabhupada. That was the way it was, you know. But and in the jail, I couldn't get out. So I told the jail warden, I said, can I keep my book? Because I was in jail for selling books. So he said, okay, man, keep your book. I had a Bhagavad Gita. I made a vow that day. I'm going to read every word on every page of this Bhagavad Gita. I don't care if I get out. I think I got to the 3rd or 4th chapter and someone got me out. So this material world, you can't get out like that. But you can, what is that verse in Bhagavad Gita? 18th chapter. I always forget this verse. I don't know why. Brahma Bhuta Prasanatma Nasochati Nakakshati Samat Sarveshu Bhuteshu Mad Bhaktim Lavate Param. It's like you're going out of, you attain the Brahma Bhuta stage of consciousness. So my point here is that enjoyer is the person who's the possessor of consciousness. Because you're conscious of, you hit your hand, you're conscious of eating a snack, you're conscious of it. But you're not necessarily the soul tasting something. The soul is perceiving it. That's explained also in Bhagavad Gita. Chaitragya, the field of activities, and the enjoyer or the knower of the field of activities. Krishna is the supreme Chaitragya. He knows everyone's field. You only know your field of activity, and you enjoy within that field, the confines of that. So then, we're enjoying by perception of the things that are being consumed or things that are being seen, things that are being touched. So we have to learn how to detach ourselves from that. What is another verse, Bhagavad Gita? Mam chayo vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate saguna samatitaita brahma bhuyai kalpate. Again, Brahma Bhuta, Brahma bhuyai kalpate. So he's saying you rise above the modes of material nature by what? How do you do it? How do you rise above the modes of material nature? Chant Hare Krishna. Hear the glories of the Lord. Now you can't pull yourself up through the modes of material nature. The Lord helps us. So wonderful. Lord Chaitanya gave us the Shikshastakam prayers, the very first one. Does anyone know the whole thing? First prayer of the Shikshastakam. Cheto Darpanam Marjanam Bhava Mahadavagni Nivapanam Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vijavadu Jivanam Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam Pratipadam Purnandrita Sadhanam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. All glories to Sri Krishna Sankirtan. Why? It cleanses the heart of all the dust, all the material desires, just by Sankirtan, just by chanting. Yes. Especially if you chant sincerely from your heart. I hear sometimes devotees when they do kirtan, they say, chant from your heart. Okay, that's fine. What does that really mean? Chant with love, chant with sincerity. Any devotional service, all devotional service should be bhajatam priti purvakam, done with love. All of it, no matter what it is. Cleaning, cooking, like Prabhupada always said, the cooker, the cleanser, the cooker, the pujari thinks he's better than the cooker. He thinks he's better than the cleaner. No. If the cleaner, meaning someone cleaning the floor, is doing it with love, that's the highest position. I had the great fortune of hearing Prabhupada describe that in Vrindavan, 76. He said, you take care of the deity because you think here is Krishna, but you don't take care of the floor because you don't realize here is Krishna. Because everything is Krishna. Everything is him. He's everywhere. He's in every atom. So with all the deity, Haribol, Ram Lalaji, Haribol, Nashingadina, and then we don't take care of the floor. Prabhupada didn't like that. He wanted us to be conscious of Krishna in every step of our life, in every aspect, because he's in every atom. So vice, back to that word, we want to get it from our hearts, but we want to associate with those who are at least endeavoring to get free. Now here's a word of caution. The word of caution is don't look at devotees trying to analyze them. Is he or she, is he free from vice? What about her? I'm not going to listen to her if she's not free from vice. So how do you know? How can you tell if a devotee is free from all vice or endeavoring to become free? How can you tell? Yes, Mataji? Whoa, they're chanting. You know, the system used to be in our temple, you know, when I was brahmachari and all that, living in the temple. In the morning after Tulsi Puja, Mangalarti, we all gather in the temple room and chant. Everybody, including the temple president, everybody had to be there chanting. That's how we checked on each other. Who's chanting, who's not. And luckily, the whole temple would be there, except for pujaris on the altar. They had to do their service. And it was empowering to know that your god brother, god sister, we're all doing what Prabhupada asked us to do. When I got initiated, there were only two things he asked me to do. People asked me, did you get any instructions from Prabhupada directly? I used to say no. Yes, I did. He said, what are the 4 rules? And I had to explain. And positively, I had to say 16 rounds. Your name is Balabhadra Bhattacharya. Okay, go. So chanting, that is so important, isn't it? So important. So if we want to be able to appreciate devotees, we see, but the other aspects as well. You can judge a little bit by the character of the person. In Bhagavad Gita chapter 13, verses 8 through 12, begins with Amanitvam. Amanitvam means humility. And then Adambitvam, pridelessness. His Holiness Romapad Maharaj was here last year sometime he came, and he talked about that verse. Amanitvam, Adambitvam. Humility and pridelessness. So how do I know if someone is being humble? Oh, they're crawling around the floor. Maybe. But Prabhupada's definition in that purport, he says very clearly, humility means not being anxious for the satisfaction of being honored by others. That's a broad statement, but you can apply it very easily. Like some people strive to be in the center. They make it a point to be in the center of attention. I explained yesterday, that's very dangerous because that is Krishna's position, to be in the center. All right? Vamsi Prabhu, I think you picked up on that. You mentioned that about we should not try to be in the center. Krishna's in the center. As long as we keep him in the center, we're fine. Amanitvam Adambitvam. Pridelessness, not being proud of all these things. So you don't look at devotees and psychoanalyze them and judge them, but you just appreciate what you see devotees are chanting, hearing, serving, encouraging. Last night, Srila Prabhupada in the lecture gave us all the qualities of a devotee, 26 qualities of a devotee. It was so beautiful. The first one was, what was the first one? Who was here last night? First quality was kavi, poetic. Devotees are poetic. It went on and on and on. Kind, charitable, mild. So you look and see, devotees are like that. Very nice. So when you serve devotees who are trying to get free from all vice, great service is done. By such service, you get the affinity to hear the messages. Now, the next verse, I'm going to go real quick. Next verse is 18. This is a very famous verse. Everyone should know this verse. Should I close the book? You all know it? You have it on the screen. Say it together with me. Nasta praishu badreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavatu tamasloke bhaktir bhavati naistaki, by regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam. Now, that translation was adjusted. Actually, Prabhupada adjusted this because what happened was the voice, he said, by regularly hearing the Bhagavatam. I believe the original one said like that. But the devotee said, I don't need to go to class, I'm just hearing. Well, I need class for it. So now it says, by regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering service to the pure devotee. All, what does the word all mean? That's not some, it's all. What does all mean? Huh? Everything. All. You don't use that word unless you mean everything. Wow. All that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed. Now look, there's a very important word. Almost. Not completely. Almost. That means you still have some residue. You have to keep working. And loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. I've explained this irrevocable many times, just referring to like your driver's license. Sometimes they revoke your driver's license, so you can, like that. But that loving service cannot be revoked. Once it's established, cannot be revoked, which leads to the last verse in today's, 19. Got it? All together. Tadara jasamo bhavo kamalo bhavayaste cheta etirana vidham stitam sattve prasidati. As soon as irrevocable loving, irrevocable, can't revoke it, irrevocable, which indicates there could be another level of devotional service that's not on the level of being irrevoked. You have some, but it's not on the highest level yet. As soon as irrevocable loving service is established in the heart, the effects of nature's modes of passion and ignorance, such as lust, desire, hankering, disappear from the heart. Then the devotee is established in goodness and he becomes completely happy. Hari Hari Bol! Isn't that our goal? We want to become peaceful. We want to become happy in Krishna consciousness. So again, 16 to 19, but I also recommend you go further into the chapter. But those few verses, they're in your toolbox. They will protect you in times of need, in times of confusion. I promise you, it works. It really, really works. So I'll stop there. Anyone have any additional comments or questions? Anything? You all satisfied? Okay. Yes, Prabhu. Yes. It's not right or wrong, just like there's a verse, and I can't remember the whole verse. It says, Tirta Kurvani Tirtani. So like the essence of that verse is saying, saints of your character are verily like holy places. Saints mean like the saintly person, free of all vice. That person is verily the holy place. But and to your point, going to Vrindavan, Mayapur, Hardwar, Rishikesh, all these different places, Jagannath Puri. So should we be attached to them? That's the essence of your questions. Should we have attachment for those places? Let me think about it for a second. Anyone have any ideas about that? Huh? What's that? To be attached to the holy places. Okay, any other thoughts? Is it not bad? It's never bad. But is it good to do that? Should we be attached? Knowing that we should not be attached, should we be attached to the holy places? Yes? Yes. Yeah. So tying your question to his question, can a devotee in a holy place fall into the traps of Maya? Because as we're saying, the holy place is so special, and she's saying that how is it devotees can fall into Maya, even in the holy places? Yes, because that place has special power, just like Bhagavad Gita, Haribo. Dharma Kshetre, Kurukshetre, Samaveta Yutsava. Dharma Kshetre, Kurukshetre. So that Kurukshetra was a Dharma Kshetra, very religious place. That's why Dhritarashtra asked Sanjaya, when my sons and the sons of Pandu assembled in that holy place, what did they do? Because he was worried about the outcome because they were in the holy place. Something's going to happen on the Pandava side. So the holy Dham has great power, but you cannot take advantage of that presence of being there. So to be attached there for what reason? Some devotees might be attached to the holy Dham because they can get a nice apartment, cheap price, and just be there. One devotee told me, Prabhu, you should come, Mayapur. he said, you can call Amazon and your package will be there the next day. I said, why would I go to Mayapur to order from Amazon? I can call from Stone Mountain. So that's not a good reason to go. What another reason? I met a man in Vrindavan, I think the first time I went there. He used to be an airline pilot for Air India, or India Airlines. I think it was India Airlines. He was a pilot. But now he's living in Vrindavan in a hut. And he told me and this other devotee, I will never leave Vrindavan. I was in Delhi and all. He said, I don't care for those places. And I just want to stay in Vrindavan, chant the names of God, and I'll leave this world. And Prabhupada said, many people go to Vrindavan for that purpose. That's a good purpose. Go there to chant the holy names of the Lord if the spiritual master has given permission. One devotee, Prabhupada disciple, wanted to go to the Dham. I believe it was either Radhakunda. You know Radhakunda? Very sacred place, highest sacred place in the universe. So this devotee, because he read about the sadhus and the babajis, he was going to go to Vrindavan and just sit down and chant. And Prabhupada said he is not living in Radhakunda, he's living in Narakakun, hell, because his mind was not correct. He's not following the order of Guru. So if you break the order of Guru, in our case, we go against the instructions of Srila Prabhupada and start doing something that we think is cool, something wonderful. Prabhupada was so insistent that we preach Krishna consciousness. He was in Vrindavan. Think about this for a second. Prabhupada was in Vrindavan before he came here. So the question is, why did he leave Vrindavan? That was Vrindavan. Why? To preach, to take on all this headache. And he kept telling the devotees, take this headache from me. I want to finish my books. And we gave him more and more headaches, all the way till he's lying in his last moments in his bed. Still devotees were giving him headaches. But he accepted that. So my point is, the Holy Dham is special. But what makes the Holy Dham the Holy Dham? The presence of Krishna, right? Is Krishna not in your heart? Is he not in Nimai's heart? I don't know, he might not be in mine, I don't know. But he's there. So we could be being referred to, as in that verse, well, I can't think of the number, saints of your character are verily holy places of pilgrimage. So when you're in the presence of sincere devotees who are struggling trying to chant the holy name, struggling trying to preach, that's like being in the holy place. But it's still nice to go to the holy place. But don't go there for foolish reasons. Don't go there because it's cheap. Yes, Ram? Yeah. Devastating. I wish I could remember the quote from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta saying how many days you should stay, like in Vrindavan. Either this many days or that many days. Don't just go for it. Because you can commit offenses in Vrindavan. Or Mayapur fences are considered maybe a little less. Vrindavan, they're very high. So you make an offense in Vrindavan, what happens to people who make offenses in Vrindavan? Prabhupada explains. Become monkey or a hog. It's hard to see those monkeys in Vrindavan as possibly devotees, but they could be. So, holy dham, yes. Right consciousness, most important. Where you're sitting right now, because a holy dham is a holy dham because of Krishna's presence. Is Krishna not in this room? Then it's a holy dham. Like New Panihati, Atlanta Temple. That's a tirtha, designated by the leadership of the movement. That temple, because of Prabhupada's presence there, has been designated as one of the 7 most important projects in the whole world of ISKCON. That place. Why? Because Prabhupada cried there. Prabhupada played Madanga there. Prabhupada, it was amazing what he did. Okay? So that's a tirtha. Now this has become a tirtha because the deities being worshipped, and we're all here together doing service. So, anything else? Raise your hand, because you're all guilty of being in the material world. So now, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hey, Nimai, there's another Nimai over here. That's the new Nimai. He's replacing you as a little one. Hey, Nimai. Haribo. Okay, so we'll stop there. Any announcements? This is our stand-in announcer today, because our dear Shambhi Hari and Mataji are in Chicago. Their wonderful son is getting married. I think yesterday they had them in. Yesterday they got married. Sujay. So now Sham Prabhu's business is finished. Because in Prabhupada's lecture this morning, he said to get your daughter married, get the son married. So now the daughter's married, the son is married, so Sham can just be always here, as he always is.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you, Balabhadra Prabhuji, for a wonderful class. So, would like to announce some of the announcements. On this 6th and 7th, we have the like Rath Yatra in the downtown, and then the 7th is the Panihati festival, the Saturday and Sunday. Please mark your calendars. The poster is outside, like in the hallway, if you have not seen. Otherwise, we will also post in that one. And if for any reason, if anyone is not able to join the downtown Rath Yatra, we will have the Rath Yatra in this center in the month of July. That will be the 11th or 12th. I don't know the exact dates, but once Sham Prabhu is back, he will be announcing it. So usually we will be having the Sunday love feast sponsors. For this Sunday, we don't have anyone. If anyone is enthusiastic and feel blessed, please do let us know. Otherwise, those are the 2 announcements that we have it at this point. And if there is anything, we'll be updating in the chat group. Now, we will be taking the blessings, and once the blessings is done, we will have the prasad. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
I know part of it.
Mahaprasade Govinde Nama Brahmani Vaishnavi Swalpa Punyam Vatan Rajan
जड़ेन्द्रिया ताए काल जीवे फाइले विषय सागरे तारा मध्य जीवावती लोभो माय सुदुर्मति ताके जेटा कठिन संसारे कृष्णा बड़ो दया माय कोरी बारी जुबा जाए सौ प्रसाद अन्न दिलो बाय से अन्न अमृत पाओ राधा कृष्णा गुण गाओ प्रेमे ताको चैतन्य निताय जय श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैता गदाधरा, श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।